And I never know why. I always do this. I never know why I'm live. Hey, goodness. Let's see. Hello. Don't ask me why I'm live because I will be able to tell you. Anyway, I was just chilling, sort of, and I had a feeling that like I kind of wanted to go live for a little bit because I kind of want to use these cards and nothing organized tonight. Oh, I guess I can do a few announcements. Hey, K2. Oh, well, I'm glad I'm live now too. Thank you. How's it going? How are you doing tonight? I kind of have some update-y-ish things. My mom just made it to her destination. Love that. Oh, my goodness. How have you been, K2? It's been a mess, but I'm good. Where my girl at? I don't know. Let me see. Let me ask her. Today's been so interesting. Hey, Clarinda. How you doing? It's been such an interesting few days. I feel like I went from one extreme to like not, and I guess I'm not at an extreme now, but like things were really good with all that Mars, with all that Venus and Aries energy. My Venus is in Aries. So when I came up on my Venus conjunction, I was feeling really good. And then the moon slid into Aries and I was still feeling good. And then everything like today hit like 23, 24 degrees in Aries. And so it's squaring a lot of that Pluto and Saturn and Capricorn. So I went from feeling good to just feeling like kind of interesting, you know? And I have a lot of cardinal planets in my chart. I have Capricorn, Libra, Venus, and Cancer in my chart. So all of it is getting squared and opposed, and I'm just like today. I'm just like I don't know how to feel. Um, but I'm good. Hey Zelda. Hey Miyoshi. Welcome in. Um. So yeah, is this my mother? It is my mother. Let me reply to her. She just made it to her destination. Um, but yeah, so I went back. I'm sorry. Let me get in these chats. Let me get in these chats. And I found the energy oracle cards. This thing, y'all, I don't know. I found the energy oracle cards. Can y'all see these? There you go. I've been looking for them. They were missing for like a day. Let's see. Let me read these really quick. Yeah, I think a lot of energies are changing. Yeah. It's oof, those heavy hitters in Capricorn are just I don't know what that means, but that's what it feels like. How's everyone? How are all y'all doing today? Costa. I'm about to pick up Costa, Georgia. And you've been having some effed up dreams. Oof. Tell us about them, K2. Okay, let me make sure. Apparently you're your moon and rising. Ooh. I've been having some interesting dreams lately. No problem, Zelda. Have a good day and good luck at work. Oh, snap. Oh, snap, K2. Are you in the Oralite group, K2? Because if you are, I can find you through there. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I'm just here for a hot second. I have these cards that I kind of want to use. Oh yeah, I was talking about something. So I've gone. Ooh, the Two of Swords in reverse and the five. No, Two of Swords in reverse, Seven of Wands in reverse. That's interesting. That's some pretty heavy stalemate energy. But it's like once you make a decision, then the point is to decide. Is to make a decision. Okay. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Thank you, Zelda. Oh, snap. Miyoshi. I had a dream. Oh, yeah, that was weird. I had to get out of that, though. I did have an interesting dream, but I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I can't do this. Um, but yeah, so I went back and I titled some of the videos on this channel like what they are. So like if I had an intention of doing like the first decade of Pisces, I did like Pisces season first 10 days instead of just like Feb whatever live. I was being a little lazy. I've also made 2 posts on my Instagram. I'm happy about that. I want to get into the routine. Um, and I've done a few other things just to put it out there, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. These energies got me just like I don't know what's happening. But oh snap, what is this? I guess I do want to do like little 3 card readings. I want to try those some more. So if y'all have questions, feel free to ask. Here it is, 5 of Cups. So to the people dreaming about old things with the 5 of Cups, that's like, 3 pointing left, 2 pointing right. So I guess the orange ones would be spilled. Are these red? So it's interesting because you have like this orange and this blue. And the blue with some green, the orange with some yellow. So this is almost like, heart. This is the upper chakras versus the lower chakras. And the lower chakras have more cups. And so when it comes to things that are closer to like your foundations, we might be a little more likely to go towards them, even though potentially we're supposed to be heading towards more so where we're led than where we've been. You're working on something yourself. Okay, K2, I like that. You cleared your desk off and set the things you intended to use the altar for. Nice, Miyoshi. Yours is new and K2, I love that girl. Amen. Amen. Ooh, I mean, hey, a fine one. Find one, find one, find you a fine one. Let me find me a fine one. Shoot, I love a fine man. Let me stop. But yeah, let's see. I'm only going to be on here for a minute. And then I want to put a movie on. He gets me all hot and bothered, LMAO, and he knows it. It's an interesting energy to be in, isn't it, K2? Where did this card just go? See? Oh my gosh, I ain't got time for this. Did it fall in the box? 1 second. I gotta look for this card. Just wanna be. Oh my gosh, it fell in here. It's the Two of Cups. Oh snap. Okay, K2. Well, love that energy. We're just waiting. Oh, why did it have to hide though? I don't know. On the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I'm not gonna be on too long. But yeah, these wanna like talk today. And then the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, K2, I see you over there, girl. I like it. I like it. You deserve it, though. You know, after everything you've been through and the hard decisions you've had to make, you deserve it. How are you feeling? I love these cards coming out because you're done with the past deal. Oh, gotcha. That's why it wasn't hiding. But you are moving forward at the same time, which is nice. And, you know, in this season, it is a time to, like, you know, go back and to address things with from the past. And so we could be in this space where forward movement might not necessarily feel or look like it because we're being called in a way to go back and to make sure things are in line. But just know you're getting where you're going. I'm tired, but you feel his strength and it keeps you and it helps you a lot. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. What card just came out? The Ten of Wands in reverse. Y'all can't even. There we go. I wish I had a thing where y'all can actually see these cards. Oh well. Ten of Wands in reverse. I love that. But the Ace of Cups still in reverse. But yeah. You know, it's going back and it's putting those wands to bed. Finding out which ones you can drop, which ones are worth keeping. Maybe just drop all of them. Shoot. What am I doing tonight? Okay, I'll pull 3 cards for a general. All of them dropped, every single one. And this will be a general for the room. This light makes me so warm. Just want to be. Ooh. This card keep coming. Oh, 2 of Swords in reverse. That's Libran energy. Now I think one of the things, like, apparently Libras are indecisive. Did y'all know that? Oops. You think your dream was the closure. You just didn't want to see him cry. Up, and then there's the third one. Oh, snap, the Magician upright and the Ace of Pentacles upright. This is interesting. So the Magician comes first, always. So I think, you know, we're in this space where we are able to. It's like we're in this space where we're able to manifest a brand new beginning. And we're in this space where there is a flood of opportunities and abundance waiting to come in, but it's all held behind a dam of indecision. And so, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, 7 of Cups in reverse. Oh my gosh, all these cards on the floor. Ooh, 7 of Cups in reverse, 3 of Wands in reverse, 3 of Swords in reverse, the Princess of Swords in reverse, and the 2 of Wands in reverse. So I feel like it's like we kind of know what it is that we want, but for some reason we're hesitating to actually go out and get it. Maybe it's a fear of disappointment. Maybe it's a lack of clarity around the situation. And that's what's keeping us from moving. Clorinda, you're back. Back for 10 minutes, waiting in the car at school. Costa. Welcome back. Welcome back. Self-sabotage. It's my problem. Yep. So I think there's this indecision that's sort of keeping everything out. Or there's this knowing of stuff that you need to do, but we're not doing it. Like for me personally, I know I should be working on the schoolwork, but I haven't touched it in a minute. And I wanted to finish one of the classes before spring break. So it's like, okay, well, if you're not doing any of the work, and it's interesting because I'm receiving these opportunities, but like, it's not. Y'all want to see something? Give me 1 second. Oh. Okay. Y'all want to see something? Cool. Have I showed y'all this? I'm gonna cover my government name because y'all need to know my full first and last name. But do y'all see this? Can you read that? So this actually came in the mail. Like they already sent me my degree, even though I still need to submit the work for these last 2 classes, right? And it's like I have this. I thought this would motivate me. I have these amazing opportunities. Well, I had one amazing opportunity come up at this place that I really wanted to work at. I had this other opportunity come up that I'm also like, it's an opportunity, so I'm excited. And I know I should be doing this stuff, but I'm not doing it. And so I feel like in some ways I'm limiting and blocking the thing. So if there are things that you know you should be moving on, I feel like we have more clarity than we think we do with the 7 of Cups in reverse. But we're just not doing it. The 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands are both in reverse. So it's like you're not moving on like old stuff, really. You're not moving on new stuff, really. Like, what is going on? Clarifying, LOL. Clarinda, do you really have to finish? Right? That's what I'm like. I'm like, can I just be done? Like, I already have the piece of paper, but I do have to finish. But with this Princess of Swords in reverse, like, I think this is the knowing that we're just not following. To clarify it all up. But the Magician came out upright, and the Ace of Pentacles came out upright. So it's like we have these amazing opportunities that we're manifesting, but then we're not following up on them. So like if there's any, like if you have a thought to do something, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, go ahead and do it. Because I feel like a lot of that is like gonna lead us to ultimately where we need to go. And yeah. Yeah, I personally, K2, don't have any kids, but I think that like I think with kids it becomes interesting because on one hand you want for there to be some sort of stability for the kids, right? But if things aren't working, then they're not working. So you can be together with someone for the like you could stay together for the kids with someone, but if the environment is toxic, then it's still a toxic home environment. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of feelings in the air that they can still feel and still pick up on. And so the initial process might be really hard and you might have to make tough decisions initially. King of Swords just came out. You might have to make tough decisions initially, but you know, after everything settles, then it's like there's less chaos, right? So yeah. I know that generational curses have been coming up a lot. Or they were coming up a lot in the past, a few months ago. But now with the breaking of karmic cycles, I think it's really an opportunity for us to, okay, Miyoshi. I think it's really an opportunity for us to close those cycles for our families to move on and do better. Um, and I feel like kids, like, especially when they're younger, I feel like they're really emotionally in tune. And so they already kind of sort of know more than we may give them credit for sometimes. And I'm the type of person where I believe I'll be the type of parent that, like, I'm just going to talk to my kids like they're actual people, because I feel like they have a capability and a capacity to process and handle more than we give them credit for. Because emotionally, they already soak up everything anyway. So, I feel like to sit them down and have a conversation might ease a little bit of that, because if not, it's just like everything is happening and they don't know why. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And a lot of kids are. And justice in reverse. I feel like, it's funny because the King of Swords is right here. And then justice is in reverse as I'm talking. Um, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that happen and they don't necessarily know why. And so then that's when you hear of, like, you know, and it's so interesting because, like, when we become adults, we're able to see our past with a greater clarity analytically than when we were children. But if there are wounds that we suffer from as children, then those wounds, like, stay with us. And so, like, it could be the case where you have a child in a family where the mother and the father are fighting and they end up splitting up, and neither one of them really talks to the child because, the child wouldn't understand, and it's not the child's, like, you don't want to worry the child, but the child is already worrying. But then in their mind, somehow they get the perception that they're the reason why you two split up. And, like, you hear about it sometimes where people blame themselves for their parents separating, when in reality it could have nothing to do with them. But they have these feelings and they feel everything emotionally, but they're not mentally yet developed enough to understand the reasonings behind why it's happening. And so they may attribute it to something that they're doing. And then they grow up with those feelings. And even when they look back, it's like they can understand that they're not at fault for anything, but they still have to process the emotional scarring from it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So I would say definitely keep doing that because I think that's really important. Um, and yeah, and then, also encourage them to, like, talk to you, and I'm sure they would, especially if you, like, and you're a Pisces K2, so, Pisces are awesome. But yeah, I think that definitely helps. Yeah. Yeah, Clorinda. I think my mom is a Pisces and I'm a Pisces, and so there would be times when she would be like, you don't have to worry about this. This isn't for you to worry about, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, well, like, okay. It's like I'm already worried. So, I mean, telling me that I don't have to worry about it isn't going to stop me from observing what is happening, but it's fine, I guess. Um, I don't think she appreciated it too much. And I don't think any parent actually does because, you don't necessarily want your child or your children to have to deal with like adult problems. Um, but sometimes it just is what it is. See you later, Clorinda. Tell Costa I said hey. Okay, now I want to get into these energy oracle cards. I've been loving these energy oracle cards. um, but yeah, the energy oracle cards. I know I got them off Wish for like. Actually, they were like $5, but then it was like $5 in shipping, and it took them months to come, like several months. And I was like, I don't know what happened to my thing, but it said it was supposed to be here. Like, oh snap, 11/11. Oh, it's 11/12 now. I was like, they said they were supposed to be here a month ago, and I haven't heard anything. And then one day they came in. I think it was these, and they came in on my spiritual birthday, which was interesting. I'm pretty sure it was these. And I didn't think that they were ever going to come because it was like a month had passed and I didn't see any tracking updates. But that's the only time it's happened to me with Wish K2. Usually when I order with Wish, stuff will actually, for me, stuff will come like a day or a few days to like a week early. But this was the only time where like it didn't come and I didn't hear anything. But it like on the tracking updates, it said like for some reason the first time it didn't make it through customs to leave China or something like that. Oh, nice. I have not K2, but Clorinda has. I don't know if Miyoshi has. I can't remember, but I have not. And I know Clorinda said that like you want to calibrate it pretty much like every time you use it, or you could not. But you know, um, I have not used a pendulum. Yeah, I love mine. Oh, nice. I had a necklace one time that I tried to use as a pendulum. I was just like, this doesn't feel like it's for me. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna look at all of these. First, we'll start with this card. It's card number 22, Yin and Yang in reverse. I actually got Yin and Yang earlier. So, for upright, it said that this was the Yin cycle, and I guess for reverse, it's the Yang cycle. So the Yin cycle is the feminine cycle. It's all about receiving. And so if it's the Yang cycle, I think it might be time to act more and to do more, sit less, externalize more, internalize, meditate less. I think that's the energy of like us having a fairly solid internal foundation, but needing to. You still can use your necklace and whatever with that. Yeah, I mean they work, so they're all tools, right? Potentially. But yeah, I feel like we're good internally. We're meditated up. We're all aware. I think it's time for us to move in our external environments. It's time for us to set some things in motion because you can only do so much on the inside. And then here is the man holding a coin in reverse. Oh, that's my broke butt. I think that could pretend a bit of like financial difficulties. Maybe, and I think for you're gonna try it with one of my things. Okay. That will be my oof. I mean, do you play the lottery, Miyoshi? Because if you don't play, how would you ever win? Okay, too. uh, got it, K2. I think sometimes we have to do things. I mean, are you doing anything to get some? Because, like, they can, yeah. They can do that. I mean, but like if you're talking about the lottery, like I guess you can also get free lottery tickets. I know sometimes when you go to the mall, or sometimes when I went to the mall, they would hand out like free lotto tickets. They can swing it this way too. Yeah. And if there's like other ways that you've been like hearing to move to get some money to make some money moves, then also do that. Cause like I have this resource here, and she helps me with stuff. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, is there any like, are there day jobs or something? Because I'm waiting to hear back from this one person, right? At the company I want to work for. And she was like, oh, yeah, check this place out. And I haven't checked that place out yet. I meant to do that Monday, but that didn't happen. So it's going to be a next Monday thing because they're going to be closed for the weekend. It's your business you're working on. Nice. And so I think there are little ways where we understand where we need to move. And I think right now, like, I kind of sort of understand in some ways that if I don't move on that opportunity that I was led to reach out to receive, then it's going to slow other things down. So it's always a, oh, snap. I mean, right, K2? That, I mean, you hear about people who get Vine famous. And then there are people who get Vine famous or Vine. People don't use Vine anymore right now. But, people go viral. And then there are people who use that viralness to do something and to then make money. And then there are people who like get their 15 seconds of fame being viral and then just like don't capitalize on it. Yeah, but I mean, like, there are other things that have come up since then, right? And so maybe that direction or where you were going there wasn't the direction that you were meant to go in. Maybe if there's something else that's like you could do maybe with public transportation or where you wouldn't need a car, then right, like I understand the point. I understand the space that you're in, but being over it won't help it change either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to call you out, but if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. And I think, like, so act like you know the end. Let me stop. Because, like, I feel like I've been in a very similar space. I'm like, just give me the money. Um, but I think I don't know, there's just a certain amount of something that we got to do. I should have pulled the cards, at least back in the day when I pulled the cards, I could be like, oh, the cards are saying this. This ain't me. This is the cards. Next we have anxiety upright. So if you're feeling a little anxious, see, look at her. She's just like, I don't know how I'm gonna make ends meet. Girl, me neither, cause Sally Mae is calling and they want some money. And I ain't got no monies to give them. I try sometimes, shoot. And then we got carrying connections in reverse. I see this carrying connections card so much every time I pick this deck out. With the carrying connections in reverse, I feel like, oh, I didn't even talk about it. So with the man holding a coin, I feel like for a lot of men, a certain amount of their self-worth is tied up into the amount of money they make because they are conditioned that men are supposed to be the providers. And so if you can't provide for a family, if you can't do this and do that with money, then like what good are you societally, right? And so I think with this man holding a coin in reverse, not only is someone potentially experiencing some financial constraints right now, but it's also affecting them in other areas of life because it's tied to their self worth. in a certain way. Security and stability, right? So even if you're not, you can like not be a man, but like this could be anybody if it's tied to our sense of security, right? And stability. But for some dudes, it hurts or hits a little deeper. Because then not only do they have these issues of not being able to like be stable and secure in themselves, but then it's also like affecting their self-worth. And so it's just like a double whammy. And then I think that's why caring connections came out in reverse and anxiety came out upright. I think it might be stressing some relationships right now. Um, which is interesting. They have big ego. Yeah. Well, I don't run from the truth. Stress is not the word for him. Hey, D's. How's it going? D's lyrics. Ooh. How are you doing tonight? Did I ask that? My brain is like out of it. It's 11:22, which is 10:22. I need to see how long this movie is because I want it to finish at approximately midnight-ish. And so I'll probably be on here for a little bit longer. Just a little bit. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Right? Like, we don't need no money. We'll be fine. He needs to do homework. LOL. I do need to do homework. But yo person too, or that dude, stress ain't the word. I'm just like, things will work out. I got faith. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. I ain't looking at all these cards. I look at the ones that are face down. I mean, I'll look at the ones that turned up. Oh my gosh, oh no. All right, so this might be it, and then I'm getting off because this is a whole bunch of cards. And I was like, oh, I'll look at the ones that are turned face up, but only 2 cards were still face down. So here we go. Oh my gosh, this is so many, and a lot of them are in reverse. That dead X, oof. You need to run down the street and scream, that's all. Oh, count me in too, K2. I'll be there too. I'll be screaming with y'all. So the first 3 cards are indecision in reverse. So I think someone is waiting to. It's like you're not indecisive, but also like the garden and the gate, and then patience. Oh, indecision and patience are both in reverse. This is an interesting energy because I feel like this can be the energy of like, I want it right now. But it's like, okay, well, what are you doing to get it? But with the garden and the gate in reverse, I kind of want to read that. So that's number 30. I got these on Wish. And so on the back of the box, fun facts, they have this QR code on the back of the box if you order anything off Wish. And when you scan the QR code, it takes you to PDF downloads of the books because this is a small box, so they can't fit the books in here too. We can have a bonfire. Yes. We could like write stuff on paper that we want to release and we can yell and scream. And then at the end of the night, we just throw it in the fire and let it go. Like, this is all the time, attention, energy, and effort I'm going to give you. And then I'm going to burn it and let it go. Let it burn. You have the room. Oh, nice. And the moon is going to be sliding into Taurus. I'm excited because my moon is in Taurus. And so I'll have the sun and moon in my birth signs. So that'll be fun. I'll have the sun, moon, and Venus all in the signs that they were in when I was born. So that could be good or that could be bad. Let me see. Let me find number 30. Give me 1 second. I do want to read the garden and the gate in reverse. Okay, so the Garden and the Gate in reverse. If this card is reversed, let me hold it up. Where is it? Oof, oof. Appreciation is in reverse. Here we go. The Garden and the Gate. Y'all can't even see this. Kind of, sort of. There we go. Okay, whatever. So if this card is in reverse, it indicates that the happy choice to open the door to a more spiritual pursuit. Oh, wait. It indicates the happy choice to open the door to a more spiritual pursuit. You may have been obsessed with worldly issues before, but your readiness to go deeper is now here. Many people believe that they cannot live in a material world. What? Oh, okay, gotcha. Many people believe that they cannot live in a material world, make lots of money, and engage in spiritual priorities at the same time. But you now realize that this isn't true. In fact, you can bring this wonderful spiritual focus to any endeavor. And when you do, you'll find that beyond your garden, the universe is willing to fill your life with beauty and joy. Expect the unexpected, for joyous synchronicity abounds. The affirmation is I am blessed with an abundantly spiritual life. Every day in every way, my joyous prosperity grows and grows. I love reading from my phone because I can read a little bit quicker. So, like, because I invert the colors so I can actually see it. So, yeah, I think, there's this indecision and this patience because spiritually we know that we are entitled to a lot more than what is in our experience at the moment. Um, But with this in reverse, this is a call to do both, right? It's the spiritual and the physical. It's to bring your spirituality into your physical. So we still have to do some of the work. You're not claiming this energy tomorrow. Ah! It is. It's really beautiful. And I think there is this perception that, like if you have a certain amount of money or a certain amount of material wealth, then it indicates a certain spiritual lack. Like we can't have both. But I think in this day and age, it's very possible to have both, and we should be striving to have both. Um, so yeah, let it out tonight, Miyoshi, and then leave it in today, so that it's in the past tomorrow. And then we have appreciation in reverse. I think there's a certain amount of appreciation that we're sort of like lacking. And I was lacking today too. So I had to I've been in the bed kind of sort of low key a lot today because I just been I say donkey, like down and wonky. Because it's like whenever I get down, like down isn't my natural state anymore. And so then things are like weird. And so I'm just like laying in my bed, like out of it. And I'm like just closing my eyes and I'm breathing. And then I can feel in my heart like stuff starts to my heart starts to come back. I'm like, okay, I missed my heart a little bit. You let it out today as well. That's how I've been. Yeah, and so after I feel my heart come back online, I'm like, you know what? I'm really grateful and appreciative of the things that I do have right now. And I can understand that a certain part of me is upset because I feel like I'm not as far as I want to be. And I'm appreciative of the fact that I want something this much. That I kind of sort of have this fire, right? And even if it isn't moving like how I want it to be, I know that it's the journey of getting it and attaining it and obtaining it that I will appreciate the most. And I don't need it right now. Um, I was like, let me take a step back out of this instant gratification type of energy to understand that, in this moment, I'm good. Like, there are things that I could be stressed and worried about, but in this moment, I can find peace. And then that for me, it just like snowballed into me kind of sort of getting out of those energies enough um, to reclaim the day. Like I didn't spend the whole day just like what's going on. I'm still feeling that like that little weird pull, but um, yeah. So appreciation in reverse. And then we got a woman. But who is this woman? Oh no, it's victory. Then we got victory. We have the door to personal healing and happiness is in reverse. The door to romance is in reverse. And the seventh chakra archangel Uriel is in reverse. So I think with this, there's like this victory to be had and this victory to be won, but we're not seeing it because personal healing and happiness is in reverse, romance is in reverse, and Archangel Uriel is in reverse. And call me out. It's fine. I'm not going to talk about it, but I was definitely feeling this. Um, but I think with appreciation in reverse, it blocked my judgment and clouded the picture, like the things that I'm trying to manifest and what I'm working for right now. It's almost like I lost them. And I was like high key, like low key, high key, mid key, ready to just like give up. Not like ready to give up, but just like emotionally, I wasn't connected to any of it. And I was like, you know what? Just give me the money. I don't need anything else. I don't care about any other kind of whatever. Just give me some money. Let me be straight. I ain't gotta like nobody. I ain't gotta, want to do this. I ain't gotta want to do that. Just give me the money. Let me get my finances together. I don't even need money. Just like pay off my student loan debt. Give me enough money to be financially free. And then I'm good. I can just sit in this bed and cry. um, oof. What is that? But then, snap, is this? Oh, it's action. Boo. I don't like these cards no more. These cards are like, okay, well, then do something with action. I thought this was freedom. This is action. It's like, okay, well, you just gonna sit there and wallow. Why don't you try doing something? I ain't doing that. I'm so not claiming that energy. I've been in my sweats all day and did nothing. Yup, that's been me. You were fine and then boom, right? It's just like, I don't know. I've been trying, sort of low key trying to get out of the stars so much, but I'm like, I don't know if like we just hit these squares with Saturn and Capricorn and our Saturn and Pluto and Capricorn, and now things are just like all of a sudden like whatever. But excuse me, we have action upright and the sun in reverse. So I just think this, like, if we want something light, if we want something better, if we want to feel joyful, then we got to do something. The time to act is now. It's like, you're prayed up, you're meditated up, you're centered and grounded and spiritual. Amazing. Wonderful. Fantastic job. You've done healing. Great. Fantastic job. But don't let your lack of action that leads to a lack of manifestation and change in your environment begin to allow you to question your healing and your happiness, or begin to put you in a place to forsake it because you're not acting on things that you should be doing. That's for me personally. But yeah, lack of action. Actually did some stuff I could have been more. So only half of what I needed to do. Oh, heart you 2K2 girl. This deck just want to talk. It's only 3 cards. Okay, I can read them. I love these energy oracle cards now. Yeah, and I think I've been trying to substitute actions that I don't have to be doing with actions that I know I should be doing at this point. And it's like I've been putting in action in all of these different areas, but not putting in action in the one area that I know I should be putting action in the most, which is my actual everyday life, physical 3D reality, which I want to move because I want job opportunities and I want my degree. But instead of putting in work doing that, I'm putting in action doing like all this spiritual stuff. And it's not that I can't do both. And it's not that I shouldn't be doing both, but I'm not doing my schoolwork at all. So, and the clock is ticking. It's almost March, and I want it to be done with one class by spring break. Spring break is in March. Um, and so, like, and it was so funny because I was in Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart readings. I was in her live yesterday, and she does like general. She reads and she does like general card pulls. And so there was this general card pull, and she was like, pick a number 1 through 6. And I picked 3. And this is like as soon as I came into her room. I picked 3, and the card for 3 was graduation chocolates. So I was like, wow, I could not escape not doing this work. It's like, if you want to graduate, if you want these graduation chocolates, then you got to do some graduation work. Right. So I was like, wow, call me out. Yes. Um, but yeah, it's just like, and I know and I understand that like me doing all of this other stuff, it can only put so much energy, work, and effort towards that. But it's like, at this moment right now, the biggest thing that I need to work on is the thing that I'm working on the least. So, yeah. But these cards, let's see. We have, is this a door? Financial constraints in reverse. So hopefully putting it into these financial constraints soon. I actually saw this card earlier, and it means that financial straits are coming to an end. Right, K2? And like, honestly, if I would have gone hard on this schoolwork, I could have been done by now. And I could have had my degree, and I could have been working, and I could have been in this financial constraints in reverse. But instead of doing that, I've chosen to dedicate my efforts elsewhere, which is by no means bad because, I've still grown and I've still done things. But it's like, I don't know. So, yeah. Yeah, K2. So, we're on the same page. We got this, though. And then we get third chakra, Archangel Shamuel. This is interesting because on my Instagram, the solar plexus, the solar portal came out today. And so it was like, I was like, um, basically it's like, is your life heading in a direction that you want it to be heading in? And if not, what are some small things that you can do to head it in that direction? If you feel like you don't have any control over your life, what is something that you can do to give you control, lead to a sense of personal self-satisfaction, and also keep you like in the direction or doing what you need to be doing? Yeah, and even like I think even with the room, because when you first started working on the room, I could understand what it was that the room was doing, right? Because like whenever you have a space, like even in this space back here, I've been like, oh, I don't like working back here because I have no space in this room and it's super cramped from all the stuff that I have. um and I'm like, it's too crowded to be conducive to actually working. And that's valid, but it's also an excuse. And so I think even outside of the room, maybe there's more stuff that you can be doing, right? Because if you're spending your time between research in the room, where are you putting the effort and the action in to make changes in your 3D physical reality? Right. And I know that, like, when you said your car went down, that limited you, but are there other things that you can still be doing? Um, has the room become an excuse? And has the room become a distraction from other things that you could be doing? You sleep on the couch. I might need to. It's getting warm back here. That's blocking your abundance. But is the broom like the only thing blocking your abundance? Because I feel like in some ways the room can be symbolic, but it's like, will getting the room together magically, right? But releasing things can work on many levels, right? Not just physically. So you can have things emotionally that you're sort of hanging on to, mentally that you're hanging on to, that you can't accept anything new because you're too cluttered mentally and emotionally. And then also, I feel like, that can manifest in other things. And so working on the physical is one way to do that. And it's a way to help jumpstart the other ones. But I think they also deserve a little bit of attention. Yeah. And so I feel like, and especially in the beginning, like when you first started doing it, I was like, oh, yeah, like I can see that. But I think it also comes a time where it's like you chip away at one thing enough that it becomes less of a burden and you free up energy there. But then you sort of reach the point. It's like if you have three things, like this is worth 10 pounds, this is worth 20 pounds, and this is worth 30 pounds. And so you've been working on this 30-pound thing, you've been chipping away at it. So now it weighs like 13 pounds. So now your heaviest thing is this 20-pound thing that you're not working on. And so in the beginning, this was the biggest blockage for you. And you've gotten really good at clearing this. And as you've cleared this up, like ultimately the cumulative weight has gotten less so that you can feel more energy coming in and moving. But it's like now, like it's not for you to stop working on this because this is still weighing more than this. So like 13, 20, and 10. But now there's this 20-pound thing that might start needing a bit of your attention. Yeah. And so I feel like, for the space that you were in, it did a lot, but it might be time to shift a little bit now. And I'm also speaking from like, because there's also things that like I was working on that were really, really big and really important. But it's like now I've managed to get them to a space where they don't take up as much weight. And so I still keep like doing them and working on them, even though my energy and efforts might serve better somewhere else. Because like it's still going to help you out, right? But for the amount of work and energy and effort and time that you put into it, you might be able to put it somewhere else now and get a little bit more accomplished, potentially. Yeah, it's clearing and releasing. It's interesting because like, so in my apartment about a year ago today, right, is when I started really getting through all of my mental clutter. And then I went home. And then I went back to my apartment and I was like, oh, great, my apartment's going to be a mess and I'm exhausted and blah, blah, blah. But I walk into my apartment and it was actually clean. I was like, wait, what? My apartment is clean? Who am I? But from that moment, I was like, wait, without a lot of the mental clutter that I had going on, my physical space was less cluttered. And I was just like, whoa. And now that I'm here where my physical space is cluttered, my mental space is a little bit cluttered. So, you know. If you have the space to do it, K2, that might be fun. I remember I shared a room with my little brother, and this room was the computer room. It was the room where we had the computer and stuff. And I was like, Mom, I want my own room. And she was like, we only have a certain number of rooms and there's no more rooms. So, you know, and I was like, well, I can move my room to the computer room and then we can move the computer like somewhere else. Cause the only thing that was back here really was the computer and some other stuff. Um, but she was like, okay, but you have to move all the stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I'm moving the stuff because I want my own room and I moved the stuff in my room. Your son wants to share a room with you. Oh, that's interesting. Well, how old is he? Younger? I don't know. I'd be like, mommy needs her own room. we can chill in the daytime, and like you can sleep in here sometimes, but at the same time, you know who this? I gotta look at that in a second. But yeah, so he's 7, but dealing with a lot of anxiety, separation anxiety too. Okay, yeah. And so, it might be time. I mean, especially in where you are, it probably makes sense, right? And to be in tune with the needs of your children, that's parent work. I was gonna say mommy work, but honestly, it should be both parents. Um, but if the other parent isn't handling it in a way that he could be, then no tea, no shade. But if you got to step up, you got to step up. And so, last but not least, we have the woman holding a heart, which is very interesting. So we have the third chakra, Archangel Shamuel, the woman holding the heart, and financial constraints in reverse. Um, I think this speaks to the energy of like when we begin to move in the ways that we really know we need to move. Because with the solar plexus there, the solar plexus is the power center. The solar plexus is the mitochondria of the chakra system. It's the powerhouse of the chakra system. Nope, all mommy. Yeah. So I mean, for this period in time, it might. I mean, it would help him out. To be a little closer to mommy, and it's really amazing that you two have been getting closer, especially as things have been happening. Um, because I'm sure he needs that. And I think sometimes it's easy because, parents, you're still people. Everyone is still like our own individuals. And so I think it's really easy for us to get wrapped up in how we're handling and processing everything that we're going through. But then to have someone who's dependent on you, um, and you're doing it. So I don't really have to say anything, but I can understand in some ways, not completely, but I can begin to understand like how much you could appreciate the deepening of your relationship with him right now. And I think it also provides some comfort to you as well. Oh, sorry, K2. Don't cry, girl. It's almost time to go to bed. But sometimes a good cry helps put you to sleep. But I think with these financial constraints in reverse, and with this, then it makes it easier for us to love. On the bottom of the deck is contract. Oof. I think contract speaks to the space that this is a space that was set up for us to get something out of it. Excuse me. And it's like, once we get through all of the financial constraints, once we get through this feeling of not having complete and total control of our lives. I think with that woman holding a heart, it opens us up more to love, right? Because when we're less stressed and strained and whatever, we can give more to the people that we love and care about. But I think it's almost working backwards, right? So if we can spend a little bit more time in that energy of loving without burden, then it'll also help push things closer towards where we need to go and where we need to be. It's all a very complicated thing. But with the action card, I do feel like part of the expansion that we're coming into, because right, I've been feeling like we were being granted more autonomy and more control in our lives. But part of that also comes with us doing more in our own lives and us being a little less dependent on the forces that be, just a little bit. And I'm also talking to myself personally because I trust a lot. I trust so much that I'm like, you know what? I can afford to be a bum right now. Something, somehow, some way, everything that I need to be paid will get paid. Oh snap! 10 of Cups in reverse. Oof. But it's like, no, it's time for you to work, bruh. Like you gotta do some stuff. You gotta help us out here. Um, and yeah, I think it just it's part of the territory. It's the flip side to all of the increase in connectivity and knowledge and stuff like that that we're getting. We're also being called to do more in our own lives, and so yeah, I'm just gonna shuffle these out. I'm gonna get one card so I can put them away, and then I will be closing this down for the night. Thank y'all so much. Ooh, 2 of Cups in reverse now. Oh no, not in reverse. I thank y'all so much for helping me pass this time. I've had fun. I've enjoyed it. On the bottom of the deck is the King of Wands upright, but the 2 of Wands in reverse. So I think that's like there's a lot of desire. There's a lot of things that we want. Lots of stuff that we want to manifest, and we have the ability to manifest it. But with this 2 of Cups in reverse, like you see the red one and the white one, I just think there's a certain amount of something extra that we're not doing. It's almost like there's a new, it's not a recipe. You just wanted and needed to listen today. Yeah, I mean, shoot, girl, I've been processing all day. All day. I went to bed last night just in a weird space, and then I woke up in the same space, and I'm like, I don't like this. And so I spent a good piece of the day just like out of it, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to sleep. And then when I was laying down, I didn't fall asleep immediately, so that's when I was like, okay, let's attempt to process through this. And then after a minute, 10 of Wands in reverse. Hey, I like that. After a minute, I finally got to a space where I was like, getting over it, I guess. I don't know. And then it was like, I don't, because I'm like, like low key, like, there's a lot that can just happen that I don't have to do. It's like you said, like, like somebody could randomly just come up and give you the money, right? That you need to get out of these financial constraints. Um, Nice, K2. I love that. Let's thank the people who help us out more because I feel like sometimes we don't do that enough. We be really quick to complain about people, but then we don't thank the people who actually help us. So I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, it was just like it's like why can't I just like be given this stuff? And then they're like, I don't know, I just know that like if I get given the things, I'm not the type of person who will work. And there is work for me to do. And the impacts that I'll be able to have as just a person who can be a little more positive and upbeat um, in environments like you never know whose life you're meant to impact in this lifetime, and you never know how you're going to meet those people. And it could be that a redirection isn't always like misdirection. And a redirection isn't always rejection. Me too. Like, and low key, like, this is the longest I've ever gone without working. This is the brokest I've ever been in my life. Usually I have a little bit of something, and I haven't had a job technically since September, but even in September, I didn't really work that much. So I'll say since like July. And I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like it. Um, but then it's funny because, I guess part of me, that other side of me in the back of my head, or some something is just like, okay, you don't like it, but you don't dislike it so much that you working right now. So what's T? How much do you really dislike being in the space that you're in? Because if you really dislike being in the space that you was in, you would have moved on them things that we told you to move on a long time ago. And I'm just like, okay. Ah, do we have DoorDash in our area? I don't think so, K2. Not in mine. I live in a pretty small town in the Midwest. So, but there's a university like half an hour away. That's a good job to do. Ooh. Ooh, September 2018, girl. Yeah. Thought you had a job 3 times. Oh, yeah. I forget. Yeah. Thought you had a job 3 times. Nope. Yeah. And then I think there are these things that we also come across, not to discourage us, but to kind of sort of like test us in a way. So after saying all this, y'all best believe that Monday I'm gonna find some way to get to this place and try to find me a job because honestly, I needed it a minute ago. Um, and things aren't set up right now. It's just interesting how it all worked out because things aren't set up right now in a way for me to really be supported by anybody else either. So it's like I kind of got to support myself, and I'm of age, so that's fine. Um, but I was like, I'll go home and I'll hit this work hard. I'll finish my schoolwork, get my degree by like mid to late February, March at the latest, and then I'll be off working and living my life. I ain't done no work. I ain't done no work. I finished one assignment. So, and I know I've been needing to move, but can't work right now. You can't work right now. Mm. Yeah, but we got this, y'all. We'll figure it out. We just need to I think it'll be really important that if we ever, and like there are some things that unfortunately take more precedence in your life than others. Yeah, I was just thinking about that with the surgery that you just had and everything. So, um, but if there's something that like comes to mind, I think it's time for us to pursue it. Um, and I did move on some of the stuff, right? And I'm grateful I did that because now at least things aren't as hard as they could be. Um, and I'm grateful, to my mom for letting me be back here, my parents for letting me be back here. At least I'm not paying rent. Um, oh, see, just talking about things that I'm grateful for and that I still appreciate just makes me feel a little bit better. Um, but yes, thank y'all again for being here. I appreciate the love and support so much. Um, kind of didn't sort of think I'd be on here talking like this really on my channel, right? But here I am. So this, even though there's a lot of stuff that I can look at that I lack right now, I'm just really grateful for the things that I have. And grateful for the space that I'm in and the person that I've become. So yeah, y'all have a good night. Y'all know I'm so bad at shutting these videos down. I'm gonna keep rambling and rambling and rambling, but no problem, y'all. Have an amazing night. Keep spreading the love and appreciation.